Hello, Daniela here, and welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. This is going to be sort of a training episode. So highly recommend on this one that you're going to want to have the video because I'm walking through a template of the day-to-day routines that you as the CEO of your company go through, how to organize that in a way to get it out of your brain and onto, I was going to say paper, but documented in a project management software. Now, we use Monday.com. This is what we love. This is what we've used for years. There are a lot of other project management softwares out there, but for today, everything that we're talking about is Monday.com. Now, how do you use Monday.com as a project management software? This is something that came up when we were just at our spa CEO intensive. And it's kind of a morbid topic. So forgive me, I'm not trying to go to a super dark place, but what would happen if you died tomorrow? Would your spouse or partner or other family member, would they understand how to operate the day-to-day of your business? Would they understand who your lawyer is, who your CPA is, what bank accounts you use, what projects are going on in your company? There's so many pieces that are in our head, and we need to go little by little to try and make our day-to-day operations as turnkey as possible. And the purpose of today's call of this training that I want to share with those listeners on our Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast is to really look at how can I document what I do day to day and what I am responsible for. So we get into your routines, the things that you're doing on repeat, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, biannual, quarterly, annual, however you're looking at, the timelines of these things. How can I document them, film SOPs, and have everything housed in one nice, neat place? Now, for us, that nice, neat place is Monday.com. So whether it's our team members, so if you're looking at this, you can see over here on the side, we've got our company routines. We've got all of our team members. They have what they're doing day to day, what they're doing, what's project based. And then we have a variety of other boards that we use to operate the business. Now, I have a board specifically I have a loom that I filmed for my husband. Should anything happen to me, watch this loom. And here's how you understand the day-to-day operations of the business. All right, so let me get into the CEO routines. So up here is just assign all the dates for monthly, quarterly, yearly tasks. You'll see in my day-to-day, and I'll kind of hop around here a little bit, but every single day, there is a routine task that says add any routine tasks to the board. So if I find myself doing something today that I do every Monday, or maybe on the first Monday of the month, or whatever that may be, and I don't have it documented on my routines, it's a gentle reminder because I'm having to tick off that box. It's a gentle reminder that I need to include that into my routines. So we're starting here. What do you have general ownership of? Now, this is going to be different whether you are the front desk or a spa manager or CEO. Over here on our spa manager board, you might have the ownership and responsibilities of strategic partner support, team management and development, daily operations, executing marketing and promotional plans, monitoring KPIs, inventory management, expense management, maintaining company protocols. If you've got an e-com store, maintaining that's very high level. What are you overviewing? The CEO, you might be acting as the spa manager in your location at this time and point, which is fine. You can use some of those as kind of inspiration or whatever aligns with you. But for this template, I'm just putting on here relations with strategic partners. You're obviously the visionary of your company. You're the kind of creator of company culture. These are all things that you're going to have ownership of, and you can just add in whatever you need there. The person can be assigned to you. So on my boards, then I would click, Daniela Warner, put that in there. Routine status. This is something that I have ownership of. So I would put that there. The routine date. We don't need any kind of date in general ownership and responsibility, time, or link to SOP. Those are different, and I'll explain that as we go a little bit down. But this is just in general. If I'm looking at the job description of CEO, if you had to write a job posting to replace yourself, how would you outline what you did? Now, important accounts for the CEO. What law firm do you have? What is your CPA's name? What are the banks that you use? What kind of payroll software do you use? Do you have a specific accountant or bookkeeper that's separate from your CPA? Do you have a financial advisor? Any of these kind of advisory team or support team members that are kind of in your day-to-day, have the link of that there. So you've got their name here. You can click on this little comment button and you could put a link to their website. You could say the names of people. So say you work, like I know at my law firm, there's a variety. There's one person who does business law. There's one person who helps with estate planning. There's another person, each of the different people that we work with have their own specialties. So it'd be important to note who those individuals are. Same at my CPA's office. We have a payroll team, and we have a tax team, and we have a bookkeeping team, and they're all different people that are helping and supporting in those aspects of the business. It would be a great idea for you to film a loom and also document the text of, here's the law firm that we use, here's why we care about this, here's the important people, here's any specific account numbers, or anything that we need that's relevant to this particular law firm. Same thing for your payroll software, any additional support. You don't necessarily have to have the login information to your financial advisor or anything like that, but you can have that in LastPass that you would then share with your spouse or partner or whomever would be taking over, should that ever become an issue. So these are the different accounts. And then you can have text links that you put in here. So it's just a URL. Then we're going down to, what are you doing on a daily basis? So admin and planning is something that I like to look at my entire day. The first thing that I do in Monday.com, something that's really cool is if you click on this My Work, it's going to show everything that's due today. So if I have things on all of these boards over here on the side, and there's all kinds of things that people have assigned to me and has a due date, I'm going to click on My Work, and it's going to show me all of those things that I have due. Now, today is April 8th, and at the time that I'm filming this, Eclipse Day, super excited about that. So I'm going to put routine is going to be on that particular date. So that will come up in My Work as today. As I complete that, because I know this is a routine, and because I see right here that it says daily, then the only thing that I'm going to do is change this date to April 9th. That might, and so that'll pop back up again tomorrow. What I see here is the amount of time that it takes. So let me go back to what this admin and planning actually means. I'm going to go look at my work. I also like to look at my calendar because sometimes I have calls that are booked or different things that maybe with my kids' schedule, things that are coming up that I need to see, okay, here's the things that I need to get done. Do I need to record a podcast episode? Do I need to update slides for a presentation? Do I have any calls that I'm giving? Am I prepping for a team meeting? What are all the things that are coming up that I need to look at? And then I choose whatever is the hardest thing first. And the reason for that is because for me personally, my brain is the sharpest first thing in the morning. So something that I do right off the bat when at 5, 6 in the morning, I'm going to get done so much faster than if I were to do that at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm prioritizing based on my own productivity. Okay. So I'm going to look at those. I am a pen and paper kind of gal. So I've got my notebook right over here, and I'm going to go through and look at, all right, what needs to get done this week? What needs to get done today? Here's everything that came up in my work. I'm going to list these out, and then I'm going to put them in order of importance to see where I'm going to start tackling and getting things done before the day-to-day can kind of take over and you get this email or that email or this Slack message or whatever comes up that can interrupt your actual intentions for the day. Adding any tasks, we added that, that was already prioritized. Check Slack messages and respond to threads. That may be something that you want to block off if you are using Slack, which is an email alternative. I think it saves you a lot of time. But the key to success is that you're not on Slack all day, every day. That's just the same problem as being on email all day, every day, which is possible, right? You want to set aside a block of time, whether that's 5, 15, 30, whatever the timeline needed is, to go in and check. And it might be that you need 10 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at lunch and 5 minutes at the end of the day, just to make sure that there's no fires. But give yourself set blocks that you're checking Slack and responding. And then Monday.com, this is what we're looking at right now. So give yourself time to not only go through your task list, but to review any comments that other team members have made, or any tags that you've been tagged in for projects that you're working on in your spa. So you'll see that if you're hosting an event or if you're creating any type of marketing content or social content, using a project management software like Monday.com can be incredibly helpful. All right, then we're going to look at what are you doing the days of the week. So every Monday, I personally have my financial routine every Monday. I go through YNAB, I go through my credit cards, I go through my bank statements, or like online banking, what has come through. I make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm categorizing my things on YNAB, which is you need a budget. That's how we do our cash flow management. I'm paying myself every week based on what's in my profit account. So it's a very clear process. This is something that I'm doing every single Monday. I'm touching base with all of our strategic partners. So we work with Mango Mint, High Level Marketing, Image, PDO Max, and Derma Concepts. So those are our 5 brands that we work with. And we have some sort of touch base every week. That can be a text, it can be an email, it can be a tag on social, it can be a phone call. But there's some point of contact between my company and their company every single week to make sure that that relationship is nurtured, to make sure that that relationship stays alive, that they have what they need, that we have what we need. Relationships take attention and time. And to be able to be a good strategic partner to them and support them, we need to make sure that we know what's going on in their world. So I make myself a reminder that every Monday I also have that as well. And then maybe you have a leadership meeting. So what goes into that leadership meeting? Is it your focus for the entire week? Really looking at what that is. I personally do my leadership meetings on Tuesday, and I'm prepping for the meeting on Monday, but Mondays are typically slower in the spa world. And so you may be doing that type of work on a Monday. So again, you're going to have your task. You have a comment section. You're going to put your name. If you're the person that is assigned that routine, Then you're going to assign yourself the date, because if you don't have the date in here, it's not going to show up in my work. You're going to approximate the amount of time that it takes. And then the SOP status, I haven't commented on this yet, but this is something that I would highly recommend filming a loom for and putting the loom right here in the actual routines board. Because if this routine, let's say that, hey, I went to Sedona, we hosted our Spa CEO intensive over there, and it was amazing. What if someone else needed to come in and be acting CEO for a week? They would maybe need to know, all right, what is the financial routine? What is the strategic partner? What is the XYZ, right? If I have a video here that gives them the SOP, it's going to make the transition a heck of a lot easier than them just trying to figure out what does that mean. So look at what happens during each day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you also don't fill space just for the sake of filling space. Only put it there if it makes sense and you're being intentional with it. Then on Fridays is the weekly closeout. And this is where I really like to look through and comb through. Are there any emails that I haven't responded to that need to be responded to? What do I have coming up in the week ahead? How can I be prepared for the week ahead, that I'm starting my week ready to go? Think about that admin and planning, so that I'm starting my week ready to go rather than being in reactive mode and starting on Monday like, okay, what's going on this week? We always want to be proactive rather than reactive in the things that we're doing. So that is the weekly closeout. That happens every Friday. Then what happens on a monthly basis? Do you have a marketing meeting? Do you have an all hands meeting? Do you have any business trackers that need to be updated? Any financial data in your QuickBooks that you need to account for? It's happened multiple times that it's been, and even now that we're filming this in April, there's probably somebody out there listening that has not categorized the financial data in their QuickBooks for entire 2024. I'm talking to you. This is your reminder. Go and do that now. You'll be so happy that you did. Then we've got our quarterly items. So your estimated federal and state taxes, your quarterly reviews, your meeting with your financial advisor. Then are you having any type of strategy meetings? Do you have a mid-year review? And then what are you doing on an annual basis? Right now we're in tax season, right? So how long does it take you to gather your tax documents? Do you have business license renewals or state filing fees? Are you doing team reviews? What are these things that happen on an annual basis that you need to get included in there? And then there's ad hoc, no fixed reoccurrence. These are things that you want to keep track of, but there's not necessarily something like, oh, I did that as a CEO. Maybe it happens every 3 years, or maybe you're not sure. Maybe you get audited, right? So what would be the things that go in the audit category that you want to make sure that you're documenting and keeping track of, but it's not necessarily something that's going to be on your overall routines. So this is just to get you started. And I have a very special gift for you, for those of you that sign up for Monday.com. And we do have an affiliate link. So full disclosure, if you sign up for Monday.com, we get a small percentage as a thank you from Monday.com. But this is something that we believe in, something that we've used for years and years and years. It's how we operate our business. If you would find this helpful, then we as a thank you will gift you the CEO Routines Board template that you can import into your Monday.com yourself. So all you have to do is just send us a little screenshot, show us that you got Monday.com with our link, and we would be more than happy to send that over your way. So use this as inspiration. Even if you're not using Monday.com, look at how you can structure whatever your project management software is to get it more organized, get it more systemized. Give yourself the ability to have time freedom. Make yourself replaceable. I know that goes against every part of our being, but as a business owner, as a CEO, that's what we want to make our business so turnkey, because the more turnkey you can make it, the higher the value it is. All right. So thank you guys for listening. I hope this was helpful for you, and I wish you all of the success.